is the editor and the maestro of the evening. Importantly, if you notice, the bathrooms are that way. The books are these over there. And the most important message, turn the ringers off on your phone. We're going to have an incredible performance tonight, and we would all feel embarrassed if our phone blows up while it's happening. So take a minute, do that, and I am going to turn it over to Vyt. Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Good evening.
Put the microphone more towards you.
And welcome. This evening, our tribute keys in on Jonas Mekas, the poet. We're here to present and celebrate two new books, companion volumes just out from Braille Editions. You are about to hear a continuous reading of translated passages from one long poem, Words Apart, that Jonas composed half his lifetime ago from this. Its first bilingual edition. The printed program another 9 contributors not present who kept from joining us only by the oppressive tyranny of distance or other commitments equally pressing. But they are here in spirit. Now, let's begin to sound tonight's message ahead.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Jonas for his work, Jonas Mekas, poet. And just a couple of lines from this intro where I say, I always liked his dream journals, my nightlife, and the dream of the old willow tree that needs to be cut down by the communists who will replace it with a better tree. At the top of the tree are big white eggs, which will bring good new things and not break as the tree falls down. Jonas. Yeah. Jonas. The Words Apart. Someone stands where he waded in, midstream. Nothing seems to be bothering him. Standing there, calm, stock still, watching the float bobbing, fog drifting. The man sitting, deep in orchard shade, is watching apple trees, the heat struck, vibrate. Sky all trembling linden. It's just this image, just this river, willow, a bird swings. Just this burning sun in the lips of a stream. Just this. Motionless skiffs burn in a pale noonday sun. Where I sit, there's no breeze, no sound of a voice, except for a powerboat from across the bay. Someone sitting on shore watches the sun being reflected, the grass shifting, then lifts his eyes and looks off.
was so great of Jonas Mekas to wait until 6 months before he died to let us know how to say his name. So that we didn't know we were fucking it up for so long. I too now, halfway through my life, entered a dark woods. Lost track, saw no more signs, and now have to start all over again. And all I thought was my essential self drops off just now. So I stand stripped down to basic first things, asking where I am and what I am, straining to hear something in the silence, hearing just a boundless void inside things, seeing the past keep falling back, feeling that with each new word, urge, sense that I am back at my source with all my gain and loss, sheer night all around me. Now I stand here alone.
Right on.
Vyt said that I went to the Cinematheque sometime in the early 60s. I'm glad he remembers. I think it was on 41st Street. And Jonas has been a beacon for us all for all those years. I look for new forms, which would let me disclose the whole memory of my experience, aimlessly pacing, going this way and that, just to keep coming back while everything inside, breaking and raging to escape, stays locked up, untold, life's abscess. Was all I drummed myself up for nothing? Nothing at all? Going deeper in, going in ever widening circles, inscribing as ever, larger circles inside, trying again and again to reach for the untold sense and purpose to my existence. While questioning, inquiring, starting over to listen in on silence itself, not minding that silence never speaks, or that there is nothing back of the question, that the answer to every question is still only silence.
Not believing in silence, I go on to no end, touching and rubbing up to things. That cold stare comes piercing in, say here, stay impenetrable, dumb, to corroborate all that is. So I'm back to trying to wrench the mystery out from the core of myself, trapped inside an unbreachable solitude, straying deeper and deeper in. In rock, I found my source, frozen, stiff, waiting. At times, it seems I'm so close to things. I tremble on touching my foot to the earth. All you people I've seen no more into than into things. Seeing you merely as movement, poetry, just as a raindrop will spill from a brimming cloud, not of its own force or heat, yet inseparable from both.
Jonas actually only said Jonas once every 215 times. You know what I mean? Like every 215 times he'd say, Jonas. The rest of the times he said, Jonas. But now that he's dead, we will always call him Jonas. Into things, seeing you merely as movement, poetry, just as a raindrop will spill from a brimming cloud, not of its own force or heat, yet inseparable from both. Oh, I think I just repeated what you read. Okay, just what makes you so different or better, more independent or free, and what from? No thing, I can say. From the brink of dreams, I look into the rain as into myself. My eyes fix on things, so I'm as one with things. I look at myself, just as remote from both. So the fault right there is my own fault, my own wretched head. Oh, friends, I was aching to tear out from inside of myself some bits of the truth, of beauty, fingers groping blind, in a thicket, all emotion. For all the many times I tried to get clear, I just strayed deeper in. Silence is all there now appears to be as I look out from inside. An Arctic music of the spheres, the only sound. Agrippa Vanetsam, the timelines run and merge.
Oh, my friends, I didn't follow your fate.
Oh.
Oh, goodness. Start that again. Oh, my friends. I didn't follow your fate. Are you mine? And I don't know where we are now, what distance or nearness binds us. If it's the language of matter or of spirit we speak, the conspiracy of things I'm trying to break free of. My heart's own impulses drive me to disrupt my rhythms and constantly confine me to the heart of space without reprieve. Europe? So like a child. You still have a shining past. Oh, it was you who shattered my childhood. So I still carry my ruins even now, sorting and patching, trying to pick out some sense of unity or continuity. And it was you made me the shred I still am, burning, with no place to fit in, falling, still falling.
Today, it all fell apart. Nothing makes sense. The things I'm alone with, no more to thirst for, except for this burning longing under a heavy sky. Any second now, I might break apart. Alone, I sit, staring at the window. Daytime street noise is like a knife. Don't know how I hold out without shattering, collapsing. Looking at my hand, the veins twisting. Unable to resolve life's riddling silence, I sink deeper in. Today, I'm all alone, all by myself, and trying to grasp everything over again, fresh from the first, out of nothing. Propositions, words, things, all to start out, word by word, thought by thought, act by act.
Try and build myself up, leaving everything open without knowing where to go or on intuition, letting improvisation guide me, voiding firmly paved roads. I know where they lead to, Europe, or any straight lines, even to going around disoriented in no hurry, with no place to go, no more to look at either. And so I go this way or that to no purpose, listening in on each and every newer, erratic heart beat, new word, nonsense sounding, soul shimmer, trying to start prying the truth open again, not by questioning or responding, but by a given grace, this guarding logic and reason. I know that logic and reason of yours, Europe.
So I go on now, more blind than clear-sighted, gropingly, straining to hear, going by touch, as often getting lost, scouring down tracks the centuries embedded. There are times I'll feel a breeze fresh on my fingers or eyes, and far less often drops of light spraying sparks briefly throw light on the whole horizon, then go all dark again. And I keep going in circles, grasping none of it, while the latest words and images drift out of reach, irretrievable. Darkness encloses me on all sides. I'm standing at the last stop there is. It's here, the forests, vast deserts start. Total dark and silence are in wait for me.
Ringing, ringing, cassis bells, knives carve at my heart. Noontime falls from mountain tops. I walk alone through the heart of town. Today, the fishermen don't go to sea. In groups, they line the pier, watching waves beat the shore. Whole columns of water assault the lighthouse. Waves keep pounding, pounding, a listless thunder on the shoreline boulders. Salt water lashing the lighthouse torso. Thoughts all full of wind and unrest. The shore is deserted, but for the kids who run screeching along the pier, but for the angered, enraged waves that keep pounding, a huddle of panic struck rowboats.
My sleep was uneasy, full of dull pounding, unfamiliar sounds, shoreline noises, the pounding waves, the wind winding. This morning, a calm sea, full of menace, like a blue, hefty boulder. Lying there, morose, dark, the storm over. The night gets deeper and deeper. I lay there alone, eyes open. Darkness falls on black windows. Alone with my entire past, I stand on the cliff, high above the Siota. It's green, the Cezanne house, Summer drops fall on. I sit on the shore watching the noontime sea. Sunlight falls in silver drops. Air smells of pine saps.
Quiet on the hill, extraordinarily good. A bee sucks honey from the clover ball. Seeds sleep still as glass. Sun tracks runs across the sea. Sea, glassy calm, flickering. Sun rides a white stallion. I'm sitting alone with no thoughts in mind on noondays. Flaming shore. I stand on a hill and almost feel history start over again. Vineyards running downhill like blood. I climb higher and higher. Rocks fall away underfoot. I stop. Just then a snake slips out and runs across the white boulder.
Calme, tu sedi. Hills, hills. You sit, look out at a field and think. On clover petals lie silver drops. I'm sitting alone at the shoreline. The sun's last rays are falling, and all that happened comes back to mind. The sea laid out like a froth of blood, cliffs white as never before, water cold as never before, breakers rush in, white scud. I walk the shoreline alone, far from home, far from home.
Waves again start beating the shore. Chest bulging boulders meet up with the wind. One by one, the skiffs return to the bay. Someone standing on Lighthouse Pier is looking out to sea. Waves like white horses are charging the shore. The beachfront cafe has music and laughter. Along the Lighthouse Pier, people sit and gaze. Days done, heart stable. Here lies the. I walk the harbor alone and look at a city burning at noon. Behind shutters, siesta. There's not the least breeze among the leaves. I'm a lone soul with no place to go. Thank you.
Thank you, readers all. And furthermore, to certify identity face-to-face, I ask each of you to stand and turn and face your audience.
Dalachinsky. Kimberly.
And now I want to thank especially our publisher, Rare Editions. It was a bold and propulsive team effort on the part of the Braille team. Charles Schultz. Dana Buell. John Capetta. Nick Bennett was along the whole time. Mike Cuddy was in on this time.
Yeah, Mike.
And Von Bowie. And I'm pleased and honored to see that our first publisher is here tonight, Hollis Melton. Launch, There is no Ithaca in a bilingual edition from Black Thistle Press, but she also brought in Czeslaw Milosz to vouch for it. My own involvement with Jonas is a lifelong project, starting when as an eager early reader I worked my way through the 3 books for children that carried his name. And later there were poems I came across in various Lithuanian anthologies. But my first attempt to translate anything of his didn't happen until 1972. And I read the New Yorker profile in which he tells the writer Calvin Trillin that he considers his own poems to be untranslatable. So I turned to the first book of poems, Seminishki Idides, and there my trials began. Profound nostalgia was the one phrase Trillin allowed himself to characterize Jonas's poems. And his use of profound made me curious. As I read the Idylls, I was struck by how distinctively, unlike many of the other Lithuanian poets who had, from their experience of exile, produced poems expressing loss as litanies of what they felt and how they felt, Jonas instead had objectified his nostalgia so that his landscapes under changing weather, with vivid glimpses of animals and people at their chores, evoked feelings his readers could share in. And that had both impact and value. It may be that translating a poem turns you into a close reader for the number of times you have to reread the poem, but the process can also turn you off so that you have the quality of the poem decline with each rereading. But each return to certain poems by Jonas becomes an initiation for the renewal. Right from the start, translating poems sets up a contest, a mostly silent inner struggle between what the poet's line intends and how the translator should come to interpret it. While any available thesaurus will attest that a strictly literal translation is impossible, it may yet be the satisfaction of a harmonious resolution achieved, even as the head of Michelangelo's Moses continues to show us horns instead of streaming light. There are many lines in his poetry that reflect the essential nature of Jonas, such as these from the closing poem in Words Apart, the last volume of his that Jonas took the time to oversee. I like to think that they also predict our gathering tonight. Here in my version are the first 2 stanzas of his untitled poem. In nakedness of sky, the quartets of sun and flowers I drown in, I'm still looking to find the shimmer of a burning echo of of song or music with a resonance, a shimmer of sounds, to join in concert and stay together always, and not turn back, not so much as swerve, just head out together with nothing in mind. And here, to say this in Jonas's words, for Jonas, Sebastian Mekas.
Dangaus, mogume, saulės ir gėlių kvartetuose skendu, ieškodamas, laukdamas, virpančių degančių atgarsio, dainos, muzikos, apsiskambėjimų, garsių, virpesių, susijungt kartu ir visados, jau ne apsukai, ne kampais taip eit, negalvot, bet tiesiai ir kartu. Thank you, Vyt. And thank you all for being here. You're going to see now 3 short video excerpts from my father's 1972 film, Reminiscences from a Journey to Lithuania.
Where can we all go to pass this place? And so it goes, late into the night. When we had enough of it, Brother Patrick brought some hay from the barn, and then we slept. It's a new song. It's about somebody who is far away. And he says, "Oh, mother, how I long to see you again. I hope the long gray road will lead me home, will lead me soon home again."
show, now you're on your own.
Well done, John. Well executed. Everything worked, sound worked, video worked.
Everything worked.
No phones rang,